All right, guys, so we're back. So we're going to show real quick the rear bear hug, and I'll do it two ways. I'll do it with arms pinned in and arms free. Keep in mind, too, that when we're in a class setting, if I'm training with someone, usually in a class setting, we're not really moving around. What do I mean by that? If he grabs me from the back, a lot of times we're going to do stationary moves where we're going to fight from right here. I'm going to break out from right here. But in all reality, keep this in mind that he's probably going to be pushing me forward, pulling me back, trying to throw me to the side. So the first thing when he grabs me, guys, the first thing that has to happen is I have to get my base heavy, okay? The closer my feet are together, the easier that he's going to topple me over. So it's real important that my feet get based out. If you've ever done, for instance, if you've ever done karate or taekwondo, think about a horse stance here, a good deep horse stance. I want him to be have trouble moving me side to side. Okay, this is really important. So at the same time, so Andrew, let's turn this way. I'm going to just simply have you pick me up and put me down. No problem. Okay? Now, let's do that again. Pick me up, put me down. Yeah, so don't hurt your back. So ideally, he just felt it too. Once I got heavy, it was almost impossible for him to pick me up. So that's one of the things we want to look at too. If he's able to pick me up and I'm the smaller vessel, maybe he just carries me off somewhere where he can do whatever he's trying to do to me. So the first thing, again, that's why I wanted to point that part out, is that if I get heavy right here, it's very difficult for him to just lift me up, okay? So right now, notice here that my hands are free. Can I elbow him? No, I can't. Not if his head is down. If his head is up, let's turn that wheel a little bit. If his head is up, I may could get an elbow in there, but it's gonna be, is it gonna really be very effective? Probably not. Maybe I get lucky and I get him with a good one, but probably not. So sit here with these elbows trying to hit him is almost going to be useless. Now, one of the things I see a lot is, can I step on his foot? Yes. However, if he is moving me around and I pick my foot up, he's going to throw me down. So is that a great idea? I say no. Probably not a great idea to take my foot off the ground to strike him. Several things I can do is start looking at what he's holding me with. He's holding me with his hands. Now, Andrew, let's go to a Gable Grip here. For all you wrestlers out there, or people that understand Gable Grip, the Gable Grip is a palm-to-palm grip. Let's go a little close to the camera here. It is a palm-to-palm grip, one hand up, one hand down, and my thumbs are staying with my fingers. So here, if that Gable Grip, I'm getting close to the camera so you guys can see, if that Gable Grip is here, great, especially if he has the bottom one up, and I'm going to show you why. So first off, I look at his hands, I see the Gable Grip. My hands, my thumbs come to the top of his hands as close to me as possible. I'm going to grab his hands, make sure, and tell me to stop, Andrew, if I hurt you. So now I'm just going to grab with my fingers, and I'm going to roll that down this direction, making him break his hands apart. So you hear me when he's saying tap, which means stop. So I'm grabbing his hands with that Gable Grip, and I'm kind of forcing my hips forward as well. As I roll those hands, turn this way a little bit. So notice the Gable Grip again right here. I keep my base heavy. Again, I don't want to bend over here either. Okay, because now my momentum, look all that weight coming this way. Okay, so I'm keeping my balance heavy here. So as I grab, and I'm gonna roll that forward. Tap. There's the tap. Okay, that's one. Number two, I'm taking my thumbs, let's go back again, kind of hard to see. I'm trying to keep it so you guys see what, my thumbs come inside his wrist, right? I don't like to grab his wrist. I'm kind of grabbing his hands more or less. So let's turn this way. As I do that, I'm pushing down and kind of out away from me. As I do that, I'm going to use my hips. My head comes up, trying to push against him, and I push my hips out. And that doesn't feel good either for him. So again, inside, I want to, if his hands are high, let's get your hands a little high, right here, his hands are high, I'm going to try to kind of like work them down. So I'm kind of moving my body side to side to get his hands as close to my hips, my belt, as possible. So as I'm here, I'm going to put my hands inside. I'm leaning back on him, forcing my hips out, pushing my hands down and out and away as I turn back, okay? That's two ways to break that apart. I see a lot of things. Now, I've actually done this before, and I like this one. Keep in mind, though, I have to strike him. So let's go back to the one you just had. Yep, so his hands are just cupped across. We'll come back over here. I'm gonna take my knuckle, and I'm gonna smack in the hands. So whether or not this breaks his hands apart is irrelevant to the fact of it's gonna start really hurting his hands, right? So I take 3 or 4 shots to the hands with my middle knuckle. It really starts to cause some serious pain. He's kind of moving his hand around, I'm barely touching him. So obviously I'm making an impact on his hands already. Maybe I had a guy one time grab me here, I smacked him a couple times and he broke free. So I like that one as far as just a really quick strike to the hands. Can I use the elbow here? Maybe so. I don't know if that's gonna cause enough impact to make him break. In Shotokan, we use that a lot, but maybe it will. Anything's possible if I get a good strike on his arm, maybe. Ideally, though, I want to try to use things that are going to break out. Now, let's turn to this side a little bit more, Brother Andrew. Good. So from here, I'm going to reach back my hand, grab his elbow. I'm going to grab the same side wrist. I'm going to turn my body, not losing my base, though. I don't want to stand up tall to do this. I'm not losing my base. I'm going to turn a little bit. Notice this, let's face the camera so you can see what's happening. We're both facing you right now. I grab, I give it a little bit of a turn. Now I'm going to work my hand inside. Okay, let's get close here so they can see. Grabbing my wrist. Okay, so I'm going to show again from right here. I grab the wrist. I grab the elbow. Now I can't get my hand in here. It's too far back here. So I turn my body just a little bit and I create this gap right here. So now I push the wrist away and I work my hand in, grabbing my wrist. Now I'm gonna bite my elbow hard to his arm. So I'm biting my elbows in as I push my hip out. Okay, so let's back up so they can see that whole move. So one more time. Yeah, okay, so again, his hands are a little bit high. I need to work that down. Right here, so I'm grabbing his wrist, grabbing his elbow, keeping my base, and I'm turning my body just a little bit. I've got to be careful though that he doesn't drag me down here. So I don't want to be sitting back too hard. I want to stay in the 50-50 in the middle. As I move my hand through, I grab my wrist. Right? Now watch my hip. I bite my elbows hard and I kick my hip out. Now I turn back. Boom. Okay. And there's so many things. If you guys do jiu-jitsu, you know how much you could do off that. I could sit down on that, causing a Kimura effect, different things. Ideally, we're just showing breaks right now from here. So ideally, we'll show that one more time. This is just the Kimura break. So again, hands are high, like a hula hoop. I work them down. Grabbing the wrist. Be careful with your base. Watch your balance. Watch your weight distribution. I turn a little bit using his elbow. I hold his elbow. I turn. Now I grab. Now I force my hips out as I bite my elbows in hard. Good. Excellent. Good. Good. So we show one more. Good. So from here. Yes. Same thing. My arms are free. Okay. So my arms are free. Again. Working. Now I'm simply going to turn back to him. So same effect. I grab his wrist. I grab his elbow on the same side that I want to turn to. I don't lose my base. I don't want to stand up tall here. I start to turn, keeping my base. I turn, he's holding. My hand here now goes to his elbow. My hand here goes high and around. I kick my booty back. Now I start working my underhooks inside. Okay, so let's show from the front here. Show again from the front. Work those hands down as far as you can. Grab the wrist. Grab the elbow. Don't lose your base. I keep turning. Hold the elbow. Arm comes high. Don't lean back. Look, I don't want to do this because now he's going to fold me down. I keep my base. I reach over, push. Now watch his face. I push his face back. Look. Now I start digging my underhooks. I want to make sure when I'm here, notice my trunk is back heavy. Why? Because if I bring my trunk in, he can fold me back and dump me down. I want to keep my booty back the whole time on this. All right. I hope that helped you guys out on some of the breaks, some of the getaways. Keep it in mind again, anytime I'm trying to escape, I want to be careful picking my feet up to try to stomp or to try to hit him in any way, because the moment my feet come off the ground, I only have one post on the ground, so I want to be really careful doing that. There are a lot of great techniques out there. There's a lot of them I love, a lot of them I don't like at all, but I think these are a few that I really like and that I've used in my martial arts background, and I think that they're high quality moves, and I also think they're high percentage moves. I think you could use them most of the time. Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys.